about you? You're very welcome. This picture here, this picture is of the Pantheon in Rome. I took it last month. We were visiting. And that structure was built by Agrippa in 25 BC. And it remains in pretty fine shape. It was the largest dome in the world for centuries. Not a crack, not a crumble, nothing. Still standing. Perfect. The same can't be said of the buildings we throw up today, with over 200 schools closed across the UK due to concrete used in their construction, which was pretty much like an aero bar. This is a wee description of what we're talking about.
Normal reinforced concrete, determining strength of rack concrete.
Why did that shatter so easily?
It's a totally different type of composition. It has no major aggregate in there, and therefore it's a far weaker concrete, and it has all these little air gaps in there as well.
And it actually looks a bit like a chocolate aero bar.
It does, and the problem with all of these little air bubbles is when you get reinforcement corrosion, it'll just crush the little bubbles and have no outward signs, and therefore it can fail with no one knowing anything about it. It's a massive ticking time bomb because all of these buildings are getting older, and it means that these panels could collapse with no warning at all. And we wouldn't like to know what the consequences are if the children were underneath them.
Now, I'm no architect or engineer, but even I know building big structures with aero bars is not a good idea, as they're full of holes. Would jumped out at me. It sort of jumped out at me. Maybe this isn't structurally. Would you think? Would you think? So don't be too surprised if there's schools and other public buildings closed here in the very near future. The issue of defective construction is nothing new, of course, in Ireland. We have had buildings falling down because of mica in concrete for the last 10 years, and families forced to watch their homes disintegrate in front of their eyes. Here's my question, and it's a genuine question. Was nobody in control? Was there no construction oversight? Was there no government oversight in how these buildings were getting put up? Did nobody check here? There looks to be holes, or there looks to be mica in that concrete. Look, somebody's dropped the ball here, and other people have made a fortune. Now, who's going to be held responsible? That's what I'd like to know. Finally, could I suggest that in future we look back rather than to the future when it comes to construction? Let's look back to what they were doing a millennia ago in Rome with their concrete, which was an amazing mix of lime and lava materials, and is still as pristine today as the day it was made. Here's another example. I took this picture here I took in the bowels of the Colosseum, right? Colosseum dates back to 80 AD, 80 years after Christ. That's when they built that thing. And do you see the cement between the bricks? Pristine. Still perfect after over 2 millennia. So in our advanced society, with our technology and with our abilities, you'd think we'd be able to throw up a few bricks with concrete that's not going to dissolve or fall about in a couple of years. Wouldn't ye? But wouldn't ye?
That's all, folks.